see our next speaker is here. And I did not know that it is your birthday today, Marques. And I was actually telling Chris, I've lost my bios and something's going on with my computer because I work off of 2 computers. And so I am going to let you do a little more of an introduction on you. I do know that you have a podcast because I've been on it. And I believe, if I'm not, are a coach.
Yep, that's correct.
And also, it's your birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I know you're an ex-football player, but I don't know which team you played for because I can't remember because I don't watch football. Sorry. I love you all. You can tell us a little more about that. I know all the guys are going to want to know which teams you played for. So you could tell us a little more about that. That'd be awesome. And with that, everyone, please help me welcome Marques Ogden.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Marianne. So yeah, my name is Marques Ogden. I am from Washington, D.C. I live in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, which is about half hour outside of Raleigh. I am from Washington, D.C. originally, went to Howard University, had a fantastic time playing for the Bison. I then left Howard and I was drafted to the National Football League by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, and then I ended my 6-year career with the Tennessee Titans. So I played for all the AFC teams, well, not all. I played for all AFC teams and a lot of them in like the AFC North and in the AFC South. So I had a really fantastic time playing in the National Football League for almost 6 years. From there, I got out of the NFL and I struggled for about 6 months, give or take, with addiction, painkillers, alcohol, nightlife, gambling. I tell clients today, if you do not have the willpower to get through the hard times of life, it doesn't matter how great your skills are, because a skill is what you are taught. Like I was taught how to be an NFL athlete, offensive lineman. I was taught I went to school to become a financial advisor and work at Merrill Lynch. I mean, I had skills in that regard. But if you don't have the willpower, or we call it attributes, to see things through no matter what, then it doesn't matter how great your skills are. At some point, you will burn out along your journey. Not a question of if, it's a question of when. So unfortunately for me, I didn't know what to do. And then I really refound my purpose by starting Caden Premier Enterprises. Caden Premier Enterprises was started as a small concrete contractor in downtown Baltimore. We were just doing sidewalks, small demolition, just some basic things in that regard. But unfortunately for me, what happened is, I say but because, again, I didn't have the logical systems in place to sustain what happened next. So when my mentor went out of business, it opened up for us to have all of the work in the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland for minorities in site work. So we did earthwork, grading, stone, excavation, sediment and erosion control, you name it, we did it. And we went to over a $20 million a year company at our height. So we were doing really well. I was actually living what I thought was my dream. I thought emotion, from an emotional perspective and from an emotion-driven standpoint, I thought I had made it. Like, I'm making all this money. We have a multiple 8-figure a year business. I have just turned 30. I was just 30 years old at this time. But unfortunately, again, from a logical perspective, the systems were not in place to sustain that type of business, especially as I was getting so arrogant, so cocky, just so in a place where I am the man, I am the best, I am this, I am that. And because of that, I didn't listen to anybody. I didn't do what was necessary to get where I needed to go and stay there. So unfortunately, as the company grew, my ego did as well. And in April of 2013, I go completely bankrupt, lose everything. And when I think about it, all the logical blocks that you need to keep a business, people, systems, a plan, capital, all these things, skills, all these things were gone. And when they were gone, I became gone. So I ended up losing everything that I owned. My home was foreclosed on in downtown Baltimore. My cars were repossessed when I got here to Raleigh, North Carolina. All of my money was gone. I was a seven-figure individual in the bank. Things were going great. Things were going well. And I literally, when I got here to the Raleigh area, I had $400 left to my name. That's all I had left. I ended up working at Merrill Lynch for a short time. I got fired from that job about 2 months later. Again, all my fault. I had no knowledge. I wasn't working on the skills that were needed to actually be successful in that career. So I was fired. Went to a construction company the next day, knew a guy from the gym, said he needs some help in his sales store. He brought me in, but I didn't learn from my mistakes. I didn't get a contract. I didn't get anything in writing. So I was fired from that job 5 days later. The only job I could get was working as a custodian in downtown Raleigh for $8.25 an hour. And that was a point where I said, I'm not doing well, but I still hadn't hit rock bottom. One of my favorite quotes by J.K. Rowling's, rock bottom is the moment that I rebuilt my life. And I needed to hit that, unfortunately. And I ended up hitting it in September 2013 when somebody's trash, rotten meat, maggot-filled garbage got all over me, my body, my skin, my clothes. I ended up sitting down on the curb, wiping myself off, crying for about 10 minutes. And I realized at that time there was no accountability, no responsibility in my life. I was always blaming somebody else. And I just came to this thought, right, Marianne? One of my places to go is the gym. I love going to the gym to take care of myself, to look physically better, mentally, the whole 9 yards. There are so many mirrors in a gym. And what I realized in the gym, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and realize if you want to change something, you have to be the one that's going to do it. You, nobody else. And what happened is when I was on that curb, I finally realized I was the one that put me on the curb, not my business partner, not my employees, my team, my people, not the developer, not the contractor, not the city of Baltimore. It was Marques Ogden who did a bunch of work extra that he should not have done because he really did not know what he was doing. And he trusted somebody when he should not have trusted somebody. And it came back to cost me everything. So once I accepted that, I said, I put me on this curb. I'm going to have to get off this curb myself. So I said, what can I do? Let's start speaking. That was in September 2013. Started speaking just like anybody else. Another favorite quote of mine, Rutherford B. Hayes, the 19th president of the United States. Every expert was once a beginner. And what happened is I realized when I was starting in the speaking business, I could bring no value to people because I didn't know really what I was doing. I didn't know how to tailor talk. I mean, literally, right, Marianne? I just got off a call with one of our clients, Taylor Morrison, right? Taylor Morrison, they're a big home builder. This is page 1, page 2 of all the notes that I took from that meeting. I wrote them down chicken scratch, then I hand wrote them nice and legibly so I could read them. And I sent that off to my team because to create the PowerPoint for Taylor Morrison, that they know that the talk was created for them, not for anybody else. And that's what I didn't learn when I was in the business beginning. I didn't understand how to bring value. I didn't understand how to tell stories that matched the theme. And I went nowhere fast, not a paid job for 2.5 years. Finally went to a program, got coached by Mel Robbins, who's a world-renowned speaker. Went to her, her audio book, Kick Ass with Mel, which was a big 2019 #1 globally most downloaded audio book. And Mel changed my life. She said, Marques, you want to be a great speaker? Be an inspirational keynote speaker, not a motivational. She said, motivation is garbage. It's short-lived. So when I got that from her, I then said, all right, let's change the approach. I started getting paid more consistently. And the last going into our 9th year, we have worked for over 70 Fortune 500 companies as a speaker. We are now, because of Jose and this awesome book, a 5-time best-selling author. 1 international, 4 in the US. We have a podcast called Get Authentic with Marques Ogden, ranked in the top 0.5% most popular podcast worldwide. We are a consultant. We are a coach. We are all about adding value to people. And again, this is what it's all about. Here's my challenge to people that are here now, going to watch later. The mindset that you need to have, are you willing to develop it and always keep telling yourself positivity in times of hardship and or struggle? Again, one of my favorite quotes by Bruce Lee: do not tell your mind negative thoughts in a joking manner. Your body cannot dissimulate the difference. One of the oldest companies in the world is a company called Kongu Kumi. Kongu Kumi, which was founded in 578 AD. They are a construction-based company out of Japan. And their CEO says 2 things. Number 1, they don't get drunk on their success, which means they do something, they're like, this is good, but we keep moving. And second, he said, if you are in the room and have the same idea or thoughts as me, I can never get a new idea or thought. And that comes back to the mindset to get people around you that are different than you, right? You have to have that approach. The best people in the world that I feel have a great mindset and move as a unit are Navy SEALs. There are 3 things that Navy SEALs say are going to help leaders develop the mindset that is necessary to get where they want to go. Number 1 is attributes over skills. Okay? Attributes over skills. There's a saying, attributes are what you are born with. It's what you have inside of you. Grit, determination, adaptability. Those are the things that they call attributes or willpower. A skill is something that you learn, like a craft, how to speak, how to be a financial planner, how to be a health coach. It's something that you learn on the outside. I tell people, if your attributes are stronger than your skill sets will always have the ability to shine at their brightest. It is all about your inner fire to keep going. When people have skills and they lose a job, if you have willpower greater than the skills that you had in that job, you will find another job. If you have skills, but because of being let go, you don't have confidence in yourself, you lose your grit, you lose your tenacity, you are going to have a really hard time finding another job. It all comes back to what we have inside of us. So again, the saying is skills can be taught. Attributes like discipline, grit, tenacity, adaptability are critical for your long-term success. So if you're listening to this, be sure to lean into your attributes over your skills. The second thing, moving horizons. All right? The number one thing that breaks people's mindset down is challenges, hardship. When people get hit with challenges, when hardship comes their way, what happens is most people freeze. Most people say, oh my God, what am I going to do now? They don't think about a plan. They get overwhelmed because a challenge is in front of them and they don't know how to deal with the challenge. The SEALs say that the way to do that, the way to move your horizons, is break down overwhelming large challenges into small action steps. Two, keep your stress down and to keep momentum going. Short story. Marianne, maybe about 2 months ago, maybe about 1 or 2 months ago, we had our podcast move from, we were on one carrier to another platform. Nobody told us until after the fact, right? I get a phone call from my producer that, Marques, we're trying to upload in Spreaker to Apple. It's not letting us do it. Something's going on. I then get a text that somebody moved a bunch of former NFL athletes to another platform and didn't tell anybody. And so what happened is when they moved us, right, Marianne, all the links broke. So we were not publishing on Apple. We were not publishing on Spotify. They're like, well, I'm like, guys, what's going on? Oh, we're on this new platform, Simplecast, and we're going to do this. It's going to be great, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, well, that's fine, but we're not publishing. Like, our episodes are not getting published. Nothing's happening. And so then he's like, well, let me call, customer support. And we tried to call. They don't take live calls, right? No live calls. So what happens? So then because they only do automated, like through like a chat bot. That's it. They have chat bot. They don't take live calls. Marianne, I was so frustrated. I was so upset. But what I did, I said, okay, well, what do I tell my clients? Just do it a step at a time. So I called our producer. I said, Ben, here's the problem. I said, okay, Marques, let's go and do some digging. So what we did was we moved my show from Simplecast back to them under their new account. That was number one. Step two, we contacted Apple, found out who our Apple link was through first, the RSS feed, went to my old employee. Her name is Ben, B-I-N-H, went to her. She then gave us the information, uploaded it. We're back on Apple. Spotify took us about 2.5 weeks because Spotify didn't recognize our new RSS feed from our old one. They had to throw out the old one, put in the new one, and now after about 3 weeks, finally, we're back up on Spotify. So again, the challenge was just so huge. Like again, right, man, you understand this. We were at risk of losing all the downloads on Apple, all the 5-star. We have over 500 5-star ratings on Apple. We have almost 150 5-star rated reviews on Apple. And we would have lost all of that, the downloads, the reviews, the ratings, if we couldn't get the new RSS feed embedded to who put it into Apple in the first place. So it was very stressful. It was slowing down momentum, but I did exactly what the SEAL said. It was small action steps. Call Ben, move it back over, call Apple, get it set back up, call Spotify, go through their process, get it back up. And now here we are, we're back in business. But again, a lot of people would have saw that challenge as so large, so overwhelming, they wouldn't know where to begin. And what happens is if you don't know where to begin and you freeze, nothing happens. So that's the dive from here. Move your horizons, break down challenges into small steps. And third, embrace dynamic subordination. As a leader, you do not know everything. And you know what? You're not supposed to know everything. The human mind can do a lot of things, but it cannot. And it was not designed to do everything. So you have to always remember that at your core. So if someone is better than you at a task, at doing something, have the mindset to allow others to do what they do best. So you are doing what you do best. This way, everything moves in unison, in togetherness, in harmony. And that's what so many people do not understand. We're not here to have an ego. We're not here to have this big, audacious personality. We should be here to learn from one another and help one another and move everything forward. That's what you should be doing. So I'll talk about one more thing, Marianne, about 3 things that I do to keep my mindset going forward. So if it bends, that's fine. It never breaks. Number 1 is you have to focus. I tell people all of the time, focus on what you want, what you desire. It's so critical. You have to focus and get that into your mind. You have to visualize it so you know that what you're wanting is where you want to be. Number 2 is you have to lock in. I tell people when you have focused on what you want, eliminate distractions. Don't look at shiny objects. Don't take your eye off the ball. Be very, very focused and locked in on what you want and what you desire. That is everything, because people are going to always try to say, well, you know what, you have this focus. Well, how about you try this? Well, you're focused on that. Why don't you try that? And so what happens is it takes your eye off the ball. So you have to lock in on what you want when you have discovered what that is to what you want. And then third is you have to attack. Action is the foundation of anyone and everyone that is successful. You cannot have life, or you cannot live your life always trying to play it safe, always trying to sit on the sidelines and watch others be in the game. At some point in life, you have to get into the game. But you have to also remember this: life is not linear. Life is not designed to give you what you want all the time when you want it. You will not always be successful. You will lose some days. You will not get that new client. You will not get that new consulting contract. You may not get to have that speaking job you desire, but it doesn't mean that you're still not great at what you do. I have a saying, no is next opportunity. I have a shirt that says it, right? No is next opportunity. If people would learn to lean in to their attributes over their skills, they'd be so much better off. If you learn how to have a mission that is all about people and you value others and you have the mindset to serve and to have a mission of helping others, then the plan that you have or the plan that you should create will be a lot more easy to execute. And then another thing, dream big, right? A great mindset should have the ability to dream big. But when you're dreaming, also have systems in place to help make your dream a reality. So many people talk about what they plan on doing or why they want to do it, but you have to also tell me, how are you going to do it? What's your plan? What are your systems? What are you going to do when life doesn't give you what you want? What are you going to do when you get hit with a hardship? Or what are you going to do when life knocks you down? These are things you have to think about because it's not going to just be easy. It's not going to be cut and dry. You know, I am now recently divorced. I filed 2.5 years ago. It's been official for a year. I was living in a small, broken down, roach infested apartment, right? It was horrible. I only had 2 weeks to get out after going to the mediator with my ex-wife. I found this place because it had 2 bedrooms, fully furnished, but it was not good. I did not like it, but I had no choice. What I would do in that apartment, I would literally visualize, I would vocalize, I would vote, and I would venture out to get where I wanted to go. I would visualize what I wanted to do and have a new place. I would vocalize that I do deserve opportunity, success, and fulfillment. I would vote by doing something every single day positive to move myself forward. And I ventured out and I found people that I could connect with that I knew were good people to start giving me a new frame of mind. And by doing that, I was able to buy my dream home 16 months ago, give or take. And life is so much better today because I understand that life is not going to always give you what you want. But that doesn't mean you still can't have what you want. It just may not come as quick as you like. It may not come when you want it. But mindset is this. It's conditioning your mind to believe what your heart knows is achievable. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I'm going to say, in times of extreme darkness, focus on the light. You are the light that can help yourself, help others, blaze a trail to get where they need to go. But you have to be that individual that's going to shine bright and help others that might be lost find their way. Marianne?
So true. So true. I love it. All of this was so wonderful. Thank you so much, Marques.
No problem.
You are officially our last speaker. It is now just Nikki and myself. Thank you so much, first of all, for making the time out of your busy schedule anyways, but in particular on your birthday. So extra happy birthday to Marques, everyone.
Well, I appreciate you, ladies. And if you need anything, let me know. And I'll see you all on the next group call.
Yes, we got to get you into my next book. I think
absolutely. I look forward to it. See you soon, Nikki.
See you later. Bye.